What's good, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. It's the Black Horseman. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I upload videos and go live, man. Shout out to the UGC. That's the underground community. Shout out to True Media. That's everybody that keeps it 100, staying true to who they are and doing their part in this media. Y'all smash the like button as you come up in here. For the ones catching the playback, leave a comment below in regards to the show. And shout out to everybody, man, that's going to participate today. What's up, old shit? Says rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Yes, indeed, man. I'm gonna probably do a live stream on my other channel, Black Horse Promotions. For the ones that don't know, I have two channels. This channel right here, just strictly boxing right here. So when it comes to that, I'll cover that on my other channel. You know what I mean? So y'all can go and subscribe to that channel as well if you haven't. Black Horse and Promotions. Um, but I want to talk about a particular sanctioning body in boxing, man. The IBF. You know, uh, this sanctioning body, man, in my personal opinion, is garbage. It's a garbage sanctioning body. Um, when you're talking about the quality of competition that's there, whatever weight class you want to go to, um, for some reason they have an issue with ranking guys in the top number one or number two. You go to any weight class, right? And it seems like they don't really enforce mandatories like other sanctioning bodies do. And once you become a champion, man, you can just cherry pick. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, and it's not really a lot of pressure on you to face the top guys in your sanctioning body. I feel like once you become a champion, if you're not unifying, most importantly, you need to beat the guys that's in the top five. Especially if these guys is calling you out. And in particular, I've seen this article that was published, Boxing News 24, and I guess this past weekend, this guy, his name is he's a welterweight, Quadratio. Damn, how do you say this nigga last name? Abdikakarov, and he has earned himself. I don't even understand how, but he earns a spot at a mandatory spot to face Errol Spence in the IBF. But the strange thing about that is it talks about this guy. It says unbeaten Quadratio defeated number 6 IBF Kita Obara by a 12-round unanimous decision and earns the IBF mandatory spot as champion. Errol Spence's next mandatory challenger. Obara was on the verge of being knocked out. Blah blah blah. So he beat him easy. He said, but he lacks power. So he was able to land a lot of shots on the guy, but he just lacked power. And they fought recently on the undercard of Alexander Vasek, and he pretty much won on every judge's scorecard. Said it wasn't even a competitive fight at all. But it's just strange, man, because when I go to the boxing rankings and I look up what's in that sanctioning body as far as competition, and I'm gonna pull this guy up too. I'm definitely gonna look this guy up on BoxRec. But as of right now, according to BoxingSync.com, their boxing rankings that they have up, they don't have a number 1 or number 2 rated. And then you can look at every other sanctioning body in the welterweight division or any other division, and they have somebody in the number 1 spot, number 2, number 3, all the way down the list. IBF does not. So Errol Spence just gets this, he's in this shitty ass sanctioning body where it's not no type of competition like that. You know what I mean? I can go to WBO. I see a lot of good names, competitive guys in the top 5. I can go to WBA, a lot of competitive guys in the top 5. And I go to the WBC, and there's a lot of competitive guys in the top 5. This shit that they doing on the IBF, man, I don't know what the fuck. And then you look at who Errol Spence has fought. He's only fought one guy from his sanctioning body in the last 3 fights. He fought Lamont Peterson, who was a WBA regular champion. Lamont, for whatever reason, had to vacate his belt to face Errol. So he came from the WBA side to face Errol for his IBF. Then he faces Ocampo, who just mysteriously became this mandatory challenger out of Mexico, out of nowhere. Nobody even heard of this guy, you know? And it's like now, after getting knocked out in one round by Errol Spence, you look in the sanctioned body, he's nowhere to be found. He's not even the top 15. He just vanishes off the whole top 15. He's nowhere. And then after that, he faces a guy who's a WBC champion, Mikey Garcia. Mikey had the IBF at 140, but he vacated that. Remember, he fought at 140. He beat Robert Easter for the IBF, and no, that wasn't at 140. Excuse me. He fought. Yeah. So he fought Robert Easter at 135 and vacated the IBF. And then he goes up and faced, you know what I mean? So it's like, but all these other names, like I see guys like Andre Berto at the number 6 spot, Rashidi Ellis at number 7, Alexander Besputin, Igis Kavaliauskas, he's at number 9. But in every other sanctioned body, he's top 5. Number 1 in the WBO, number 4 in the WBA, and number 4 in the WBC. But in the IBF, they have him ranked number 9. Below Andre Berto, Rashidi Ellis, Alexander Besputin, guys like that. And when I'm looking at every weight class, IBF have gaps, either in the number 1 or the number 2 spot, or both. And I'm like, why is that? And then on top of that, they got this shitty ass USADA testing that lets them get away with using shit out of competition, as they like to call it. Just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know? But yeah, this is the sanctioning body that Errol Spence decided to leave the WBC for. You know? This man was dropped out of the rankings because he did not enroll in a clean boxing program. A lot of people don't know that, but that's just the real shit. He got dropped out of the rankings and he went the IBF route. You know, the nigga got dropped. You know, yes, such an issue with with testing, random testing all year round. Then you want to go to the IBF, yeah, easy over there. That was, you know, no problem. You know, once you got past Kell Brook, it's smooth selling from there. Other guys who are champions have to fight tough competition. The WBC, oh, it's tough. Anybody you fight in that top 5, it's gonna be tough. Anybody you fight in the WBA in the top 5 is gonna be tough. In the WBO, it's gonna be tough. IBF, not really so much, man. Not so much. And it's just strange the timing of this now. They want to actually finally want to you know, enforce this quote unquote mandatory now. When I look at the situation where he's got a unification right in front of him, you know, this is not going to be no excuse to face this guy. This guy, nobody knows who this guy is. People can't even pronounce this dude's name. You know, people can barely even pronounce this guy's name. Kudratio Abdul Kakarov. Some shit. 16-0, 9 KOs. And he beats the number 6 guy to all of a sudden become this mandatory. It's like they pick and choose when they want to actually make someone, you know, rank somebody number 1, number 2, or whatever. So let me pull up this guy real quick, man. Alias is the Punisher, 25 years old. Orthodox, 5'9.5". He's from Malaysia. Guys from Malaysia, man. I don't recognize no damn body on this nigga resume. Nobody. Trash, man. This is just trash. He has not beat nobody worth even mentioning. And this is the guy that they make the mandatory for Errol Spence. This is just another tune-up, man. This is another walk in the park for Errol. And he beat some guy whose name is Kita Obara, somebody from Japan, who had 20 wins, 4 losses, and had been knocked out 3 times. So he beats him to become the mandatory. Why this guy was ranked so high after 4 losses and being knocked out 3 times, I don't know. I mean, the dude is coming off, let me see, April 12th, 2018, he got knocked out. August 9th, 2018, he won by TKO. Some Korean guy he beat or something. Alvin Lagambe. This nigga was 10 wins, 4 losses, knocked out 3 times his damn self. Or 2 times before that fight. And then he gets in there and faces Quadratio, and it goes the distance, and he loses. So Quadratio beats this guy who has 1, 2, 3 losses in his last 7 fights. IBF is doodoo grease, man. Trash. And I can look, I'm telling you, I'm looking at every weight class. Every weight class you can see that they just doing some strange stuff with their rankings, man. It's hard to become a number 1 or the number 2. You can be the glorious number 3. But then there's guys that might be sitting at that number 3 spot, and then some guy beneath them will fight somebody, and then they'll just elevate them to mandatory. It just be like, what about the guy that was already at the top? You know? All of a sudden they want to enforce a mandatory, but when Ugas was right there, they didn't want to do shit. It's like I don't know what it is, man. It's almost like they protect their champions, man. They don't, you know. It's ridiculous, man. You look at the 135 division. Hold on, let me do this, man, so I can do this screen share. Do the screen share real quick so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Hopefully it don't start glitching and stuff. Okay, let me see. All right. All right, so let me see. We got at 140, you got Ivan Baranchik and this guy Apinan Kong Song, rated number 1. Number 2, not rated. Of course, 147, Errol Spence at the top. Number 1, not rated. Number 2, not rated. This guy Kerman, the horror guy, was at the number 3 spot. But this guy Quadratio fights Kita Obara, and then he becomes mandatory to Errol Spence to skip over Kerman. Weird stuff that they doing, man. They didn't order the eliminator to be Kerman Laharaga versus Quadratio. They made Quadratio versus Kita Obara, who had lost 2 of his last 3 fights. You know, 3 fights in his last 7, he lost. Go to 135, Richard Colmay at the top. Number 1, number 2, not rated. You look at every other sanctioning body, you got names in every column. Super featherweight division, 130, Tevin Farmer at the top. Number 1, number 2, not rated. Then number 3, Guilherme Frenois. And then Jono Carroll, the guy he just fought. Go to featherweight. Josh Warrington, IBF champion. Number 1, Kid Galahad. Number 2, not rated. It's either going to be the number 1 or number 2, not rated, or both. Super Bantamweight, 122-pound division. Terrence T.J. Doheny, IBF champion. Number 1, Ryosuke Iwasa. Number 1. Number 2, not rated. Bantamweight champion. Emmanuel Rodriguez for the IBF. Number 1, number 2, not rated. Doodoo Grease. Super Flyweight, 115-pound division. IBF champion. German Akahas champion. Number 1, rated. Ryuichi Finue. Number 1. Number 2, not rated. Flyweight division. Maruti Talani, champion. Number 1, number 2, not rated. What the hell is the IBF doing? I don't understand this, man. I don't understand why they can't just keep somebody rated at every column. 1, 2, all the way down to the 15 and below. Junior Flyweight, 108-pound division. Felix Alvarado, champion. Number 1, number 2, not rated. The lowest division, the smallest division, minimum weight, mini flyweight, 105-pound division. DJ Creel, champion. Number 1, number 2, not rated. IBF is garbage, man. I don't know what the hell they be doing. 154 division, IBF champion. Jared Hurd. Number 1, Julian Williams. Number 2, not rated. Middleweight division, IBF champion, Daniel Jacobs. Number 1, not rated. Number 2, Jack Colque. 168 division, IBF champion, Caleb Plant. Number 1 and number 2, not rated. Light heavyweight, IBF champion, Arthur Beterbiev. Number 1, number 2, not rated. Cruiserweight division, we don't know what's going to happen with Alexander. You know, if he's going to for sure go to heavyweight. I think he is. But number 1, Andrew Tabiti. Number 2, not rated. Not rated. Heavyweight division, IBF champion, Anthony Joshua. Number 1, rated, Kubrat Pulev. It's crazy he ranked number 1 right after all of this bullshit that took place with that old man face looking chick. And then number 2, not rated. Every weight class, either number 1 is not rated or number 2 is not rated or both. And then when they enforce their mandatories, it just be on some weird stuff, man. Like somebody who shouldn't even got that opportunity. So yeah, man, I just feel like IBF is garbage. IBF is garbage, man. What's up, Charles D? I really don't understand what they doing over there because it's you know, but you know, guys leave getting dropped out of sanctioning bodies to go to IBF route to get that belt, and ain't nobody over there, no good names, no competitive, top competitive guys in the IBF like that. You go to either one. I'm not saying the IBF is not a credible belt. That's one of the belts that you need to be considered undisputed. You know, at one time before they added the WBO, the WBC, WBA, and IBF was all you needed to be considered undisputed. But the IBF, man, I don't know what the fuck they doing, man. It's just horrible. And then them just out of nowhere, this Kudratio guy earns a mandatory spot for Errol Spence. Out of nowhere, after beating this guy, Keita Obara, who has 4 losses and been knocked out three times. Lost 3 times out of his last 7 fights. And this guy they had at the number 4 spot. It just shows you how trash the sanctioning body is. Elite fighters is not trying to claw to go over there and be. If you're not gonna get ranked high, you're not gonna get ranked number 1 or number 2. And then when you sitting there at that number 1 spot or that number 2 spot, you can't even. They don't even enforce mandatories. I would leave too. If I was you know what I'm saying? If I was What's my nigga that just fought Sean Porter? Ugas. I would have left too. Like, fuck this damn IBF shit. I'm not gonna sit here all day fighting these bums. Shit, I'm gonna go to a damn sanctioning body where if I beat a guy who's the number one, number two there, you know, then I can actually, they're gonna actually enforce a mandatory, and I get my title shot. Even though I felt he was robbed, at least he got a shot. WBC gave him a shot. IBF did not. IBF did not. He was at the number two spot, and they will not enforce the mandatory. They do little weird shit like that, man. I don't know if it's just about the politics, the money part. Like if you're not a big enough name, they're not going to make you a mandatory because they can't benefit off of it or something. I don't know. Maybe they felt like, you know what, Ugas is we can't make no money. What kind of sanctioning fee money we're gonna get out of this fight? I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm shitting all over this. I'm crapping all over the IBF. Yeah, this is garbage, man. This is garbage. And Errol will not get a pass for ducking Sean Porter to face this fucking 16 fight guy with 9 KOs, Contra T.O. Abdul Kakarov. You know, beats the number 6 IBF guy to become the mandatory. This is garbage, man. Just garbage. That's why he got to chase guys in other sanctioning bodies. Ain't no money for him to face nobody in the IBF. Ain't nobody there. Ain't no names. Nobody. It's nobody in the IBF for Errol. That's the best thing he can do is unify. You need to unify, bro. Get that WBC so you can really have some competition to fuck with. Because ain't shit cracking on your side of the street, bro. On your IBF side of the street, ain't shit cracking over there. Garbage. So, at the end of the day, man, just calling like I see it, man. Calling like I see it. You know, this man left the WBC to become an IBF champion to be on. It's nothing over there. There's nothing over there for Errol. You know, I mean, I'm looking at all these IBF champions, man. It's nothing. It's nothing going on the IBF side. Got the weakest testing. They don't want to rate guys number 1 and number 2. And then when they enforce mandatory, there's some guy that really don't even deserve that damn shot. You'd be like, who did you fucking beat to get the mandatory? Beat a guy with 4 losses and been knocked out 3 times? Who lost 3 of his last 7? It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. That's really all I got, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Leave a comment below. And what do you feel about the sanctioning body, man? You know, I think my personal opinion, these dudes need to jump ship. Go somewhere. Go to the WBO. Go to the WBA, WBC. Where when you get to the top, you're gonna actually get a shot at that motherfucking title. Because they're not enforcing the ones that's at the top sitting there. They not really getting that shot like that, man. They skipping guys over these guys for mandatories and doing weird stuff, man. They probably enforce mandatories the least out of all the sanction bodies. And then when they enforce it, it's nothing that's to be clawing at. It's nothing competitive. You know, now shout out to the 154 mandatory fight that we're getting ready to see. That's a mandatory. Junior J-Rock is the mandatory for Jared Hurd's IBF. But you know, he's ranked high, top 5 in every sanctioning body, if I'm not mistaken. Check real quick. Yeah. Except for the WBC. I don't know if they dropped him out the WBC or what. But he's ranked number 4 in the WBA, number 1 in the IBF, and number 2 in the WBO. He's not even ranked in the WBC. So, yeah. But, I mean, at least he got his shot. He got his shot. But everybody else, like I said, every other sanctioning body, they got a name in each column. Each column. What's blazing in sports? What's happening, bro? But yeah, man, that's really all I got. You know what I mean? You know, I'm shutting it down, man, because this shit right here, you know, enough is said about this. IBF's sanctioned body is Doodoo grease, man. Period. You know, Doodoo. So I appreciate everybody that participated, man. Y'all leave a comment below, the one sketching playback. And I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace.